This is Debbie, and this is Light Up Your Worth. I'm excited to bring you this week's guest, Tracy Kay, an international psychic medium and angel channel. She's the creator of the Manifest with Angels method, designed to assist successful and spiritual women to create success in their business and life. So following a divorce and departure from her award-winning role as an investment advisor, Tracy pursued her heart's calling to Europe. While in Switzerland, she could no longer ignore her innate intuitive abilities that had been with her since childhood. A turning point came when Tracy's angels saved her life, leading her to develop her abilities and establish a private practice. Having healed from past toxic relationships and 2 divorces, Tracy, now happily married to her own soulmate husband, developed a keen sixth sense for making aligned decisions and manifesting incredible opportunities and results in life and business. Clients are drawn to Tracy's unique insights, traveling from neighboring countries, and her reach expanded globally, allowing her to serve clients from all corners of the world virtually. With 17 years of experience and hundreds of clients later, Tracy continues to passionately offer Manifest with the Angel readings, workshop, and certification programs for her diverse global community. Infused her business with the love for culture and traveled, cultivating through visits to over 30 countries, Tracy brings that same sense of curiosity and adventure to her work. Her writing has appeared in the Amazon best-selling book, The Gratitude Project, national print publications, including Swiss News and the ETAS magazines, as well as in regional publications. In her free time, she can be found traveling the world with her husband, beachcombing, baking, and raising their Siamese cat. Welcome, Tracy.
Hello, thank you very much.
I'm to be here. I always love when angels are here. I called on one of my angels earlier today. I had to go to Costco, and I have my parking angels.
Good spot. They help you. Yes, I love them. Oh my goodness.
I do love them. And I know that you've been through quite a journey, everything you're sharing in the bio as well. I'm curious, Tracy, how you got started working with the angels, going from an investment banker, different type of world, even though I don't call us woo, a lot of people do.
That's a great question. It's like night and day what I came from. So I was a regular human person when I worked as an investment advisor. I didn't know really anything about this. I was very spiritual. Like I had a deep faith because that's how I was raised, but I didn't trust my intuition. I didn't listen to it. I didn't make very good decisions. I had my corporate job. I got married and bought a house just because those are things I was told I needed to do. So I just was following instructions. And I ended up getting a divorce from my first husband. I feel we all have spiritual awakenings caused by something cataclysmic in our life, right? Sometimes for people, it's health problems. Sometimes it's a loved one passed away or getting laid off or fired from their job or whatever. And for me, it was my divorce. I moved from Florida to Switzerland. I had always known I was going to live in Europe. I just didn't know how it was going to happen. And when I was there, that's when this whole spiritual awakening happened. And that's when I started to connect with the angels. I shifted, I changed. I was not the same person that left Florida. I looked the same, friendly, but I was like, internally, I changed and had this new way of seeing the world. And I couldn't not spend time and do angel work. Like I started investing in learning how to do this deeper, how to share this with other people.
Dark nights of the soul.
Yes.
It's unfortunate. We don't usually change when everything's going well.
No.
Why would we?
This is
It's
great.
comfortable, right? It's comfortable.
Right. Totally. 100%. Yeah, I had been seeing angels when I was a little girl, but I forgot about that because we're trained in normal Western society to just do what you're being told, be a good student, get your job, do what your boss says, or listen to advertisers. We're not taught to listen to our intuition or remember our angels. When all this was happening, I remembered seeing fairy lights in my room, like sparkles of light, and that was my angels. That's
Mhm.
how I saw them when I was little, and they were always around. I had an invisible friend for a good 10, 15 years. Now looking back, it's, oh yeah, okay, I'm a medium. I didn't make it up. It all makes sense now.
Yeah. So when you saw them, did you see them straight if you look straight, or were they like on your peripheral vision? Do
So
you
when I
remember?
had my awakening in Switzerland, I
Hmm.
could see them like a person standing in front of me. Like if I was doing a reading, sometimes they would come through a different channel. Like I would have
Hmm.
kind of hearing or I would sense them. But there were times where I saw a physical light being in front of me
Hmm.
with my eyeballs.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I still see them, but not in that same those experiences where I just like really saw like a white light being in front of me. Those are so special. But most of the time now it's this girl knowing I see an outline, who's there, or feel their color or their aura. But there have been experiences where I've seen it look like a person standing in front of me, glowy white.
Hmm. Oh, that's interesting. My whole life I've seen him peripherally.
Yeah, makes
Oh,
total.
I know
Yeah.
that people are there with me and
Yes.
I don't know who they are.
Oh, that's different. Seeing your passed away loved ones and angels for me are different. So you could be seeing, depends on what channels you're using, you could be seeing your loved ones or your angels at the same time.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? I think how everybody's developed,
Yeah,
like all their intuition with yourself, all the guests that have come on, how they share, how we never know how they're going to show up for each of us when we
right.
dig down into it.
Correct.
I love that you physically saw them.
Yeah.
That just,
Yeah. It was wild. Like the first time that happened.
did you just go, wow, I didn't think I drank that much wine last night. And
At the time, I didn't drink, wasn't doing anything more than that. I was even vegan, working on being a clear channel.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was really wild. When the very first time I saw one with my eyeballs, I was in my bedroom, laying on my bed, getting ready for sleep. I was alone. The door to my bedroom was closed, and I had curtains over the window that were closed. There wasn't a fan on, or there wasn't like a heater under, because sometimes you have a heater, not even a light flutter like from a heater, but they were moving. There was this bright, beautiful white being standing there, huge, beautiful white aura. You felt safe, calm, and loved. It wasn't like you could tell it was like this beautiful, loving, spiritual being, not something that you should be afraid of or anything.
Mhm.
And it was just really beautiful and intense. It's a very short visit, but you never forget that experience. I'm not the only one who has had these experiences. I have had friends or clients tell me theirs before they knew mine. They were like, this is what happened. I was like, okay, this is real. Sometimes you're like, maybe I had some bad beef or something.
People have a tendency to question it, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Because there's so many different ways that people are learn when they're first tapping into it, what it looks like for themselves.
Yes.
And who are you going to tell?
Me, come tell
Right?
exactly. No, it's true
If
because
your circle of friends aren't tapped in,
right.
you get this direct message showing up.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. In this time, being awakened spiritually and having these activated gifts, you've got to get yourself in a circle with other people who have them.
Yes.
You must. Not
Yeah.
even if you want to use them for your business, even if you just want them for yourself, you've got to be in a circle. Otherwise, so many things start happening and you've got to be able to share them and be like, I'm still okay, right?
I think that was my early challenge too. When I launched the podcast was because I felt like I was having this dual life right? My
Yes.
corporate life and
Yeah.
then my spiritual life. Reiki is very powerful and it changed my life. It was before Reiki and after Reiki. But I felt like I was going this parallel life where I obviously can't talk to anybody here about just even some basic foundational things because you're trying to find who you can talk to. Luckily, we can find it on the internet. We can find each other. I don't even know how we connected. We've been connected for a while, right? And
I have
we,
no idea. You reached out to me a year ago on Facebook, but I don't know how we were friends or how you found me. You were like, hey, I love your stuff. Do you want to be a guest on my podcast? And I was like, of course. You have the most amazing vibe.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that's like you talked about clearing your channel,
Yeah.
allowing to actually show who we are and showing up authentically is empowering.
Yes, I agree. We're so blessed. This time in history in Western society, we can be self-expressed, authentic.
Hmm.
Even when I started my business in 2007, it was more difficult. Just within our lifetime, it was a challenge.
Hmm.
Then you couldn't, there wasn't all these easy ways to make websites or to, social media didn't exist. People didn't know what coaching was. We had our small circles of people you'd find through healing work. It was not as easy as it is now. I came out to my parents earlier this year. They knew I worked with angels, but I'm doing this in a big way. And I came out to them like at dinner one night. I was like, this is what I'm doing. I'm a psychic medium. And they were like, okay, like they were super supportive, but I felt like it felt like, okay, now I can share. But I feel like, and of course, some people don't feel safe yet, but 10 years ago, it felt less safe.
Hmm.
I'm glad we live in a time where we can come out. Can I tell you a quick story?
Of course, I love stories. This,
For people who are listening who are on this path, the spiritual path, and you want to do this as a business and you want to start getting readings or you want to start doing healing sessions or you just want to even low cost or you want to just start earning doing this work. I'm going to tell you how I started because we didn't have social media. Now you can post on Facebook and get clients. It's not that simple, but
yeah.
you can just like start, right?
Hmm.
There were psychic fairies and things like that. But when I first started, I moved to a new little town in Switzerland. I knew zero people except my boyfriend and his parents. There wasn't social media. I couldn't post about it. And I didn't speak the language well. I was very much an American in this small town. This is how I started my business, you guys. Open your mind to what you can do to just get going, especially if you're scared this works, right? I went and I made on my computer. This is before Canva. Like I think I had to use, I just used Word document, angel image, right? So I literally went on Word document, wrote, because I started an angel healing practice. I rented a space. There was no Zoom. I didn't know. I just was like, I need a space and I'm going to do this work. I wrote open house, grand opening, meet your angels workshop, date and time. And I think there was a charge, but it wasn't like minimal. And I put the date and the time and how to contact me. And I posted it, I printed it out on paper. And I went down in our town. They have the bulletin board
Hmm.
in the center of our town. And I put it on the bulletin board. But I printed it out like huge, a poster, right?
Hmm.
Like for a rock concert or something, a big poster. Not just an 8.5 by 11, but like a real poster. I paid at the printers to print it out. And I think it was like $40, which is a lot of money to print like one thing.
Hmm.
I printed this out. And the people at the printers were like, this woman's crazy. And this is just angels. I'm not talking about any of the other,
The
other
other
stuff
stuff.
that we all do, right?
Yeah.
And the people at the printers were like, what in the world? And they didn't, but they printed it. I went and they stapled it. I filled that workshop. People paid me money and filled the space from that printout. And then all of those people, like not all of them, but they bought readings from me. Some became private coaching clients and not all in that one day. It was over time. And then they would refer their friends. And I got clients who gave me money to do angel healing. It's like the most bizarre thing, you guys, because it's like it's totally intangible and ethereal. And it's not like accounting 101 or something.
Yeah.
So you can do this. Like it's just for whoever's listening who's like afraid or doesn't know how to start. Literally just whatever your idea is, just go do it.
Yes, sometimes people get caught up about the website and dancing on
TikTok, right?
TikTok and or doing all of the stuff. And I had my coach remind me of that. Really, all you need is a phone. When you started coaching, you just had a phone.
Yes.
We didn't text. There was no text.
No text, no Zoom, and our computers
Mhm.
didn't have, we sound like old folks, but
We're
like
not that old. Yeah.
technology has quantum leaped. Sometimes I think we can get wrapped up into all these different things. It's like literally, what's the simplest thing? What's your intuition
Mhm.
telling you? Just go do that.
What do you think is keeping most spiritual people from manifesting their desires in a life, or maybe it's the business of doing their own readings of however they have received their intuitive gifts?
That's a great question. I think one of the main things that keeps people from manifesting, there's probably a couple, but I'm just tuning into like your audience and what's on their heart and their mind right now is clarity. What are you wanting? What is your desire? We take on desires from society or our spouses or our partners or our parents. And it's like, maybe you don't even want those things. What do you want? What is your desire? Because the desire is from God. Like it's implanted into you from the divine. So once you
Mhm.
have a desire, God wants you to have it and it's already there for you to receive. It's on its way to you, right? But you cannot have a desire without it also being there. It's like a universal law. One is just knowing what you actually desire. Maybe you think you think, okay, I want a 10K month, right? Everyone always is talking about that. And those are wonderful, right? And if you feel into it, or you're like, maybe you want more, or maybe it's not really concerned about the 10K. It's really, I just want to have a farm where I have some beautiful animals and I can grow my own corn and wheat and I'm going to need more than that to have this farm. But that's really what I desire is this farm. It's okay. That's the desire in your heart. You focus on that, having that farm, right? So you can be doing your readings to make
Mhm.
money, but the ultimate thing you're doing with the money is buying or living on a farm. Does that make sense? Like what I'm
Yes. Yeah, it's setting your bigger vision of
right.
why you're doing it. You could do the five whys,
Yeah.
exercise or read Simon Sinek or
Yeah.
work with somebody like you, Tracy, where you're going to keep asking them what
Yeah.
really
What do
is
you
behind
really desire?
that. Mhm.
Then, and getting clear on that, the law of assumption is you assume it's already yours as if you live in the future. I'm grateful for it as if it's already happened. Let's say you live in a crappy apartment and you're like, okay, this is not where I want to be, right? I want to be on my farm doing my readings full time. Okay.
Mhm.
So you act as if you already are on the farm doing your readings full time or wherever, maybe it's a penthouse, whatever it is
Yeah.
on a cruise ship. Be in that place already. That's the law of assumption. You're assuming you already have it. And let me just tell you, this is the most powerful thing that you'll ever do in your practice. And the angels are going to guide you so that you can live that thing. You're going to ask for their guidance, they ask for them to clear away things that are blocking you, to guide you to having that thing, to creating that thing.
I love that. It all starts with what you said. You got to get really clear
Yeah.
so they know what you've ordered.
Yes, exactly. So if you call the sandwich shop, oh, there's this great sandwich shop. I love sandwiches.
Mm.
I'm obsessed. And so I really so we needed lunch on Saturday. We're building our dream beach house. It's our vacation home. It's not even going to be where we live full time. And I can't even believe that we've manifested this. And so where we're up, cleaning it up and doing some work on it. And I wanted some sandwiches. And so I actually had to place an order of what specific sandwich I wanted and what toppings. I can't just be like, make me a sandwich. Some of you guys are manifesting like, I need food, right? Okay, what kind of food? That's how you're manifesting. You got food. Here's some Ritz crackers. No, I want a sandwich. Great. There's a million kinds of sandwiches and toppings. No, I want an Italian foot long with these toppings. And that's what we got. And it was delicious.
That's true. If I just said, I want my Light Up Your Worth podcast
Yeah.
to bring me sponsors, that's pretty general. That's like
Yeah.
5,000 kinds of sponsors
Exactly.
versus, okay, I'd like an aligned sponsor. I believe in that sustainable and has ethics
Yes.
and values that align to mine and my audience. And it's something that we can all believe in.
Totally different
Totally different.
vibe.
Yeah, that's a good reminder about getting specific when placing your order.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so many different levels to this as well. So
Hmm.
specificity is crazy important when you're manifesting. And then also being okay with when it comes, especially when you're manifesting like financial abundance.
Hmm.
We can get caught up like, I need this by Friday.
Yeah.
I've had miracles happen by Friday or whatever day. It's like, okay, angels, this really needs to happen on Friday, right? But a lot of the times when the miracle happened, it's because I had already been working on that miracle, like the financial abundance, for months and months. Like I
Hmm.
already have an established brand. I already have clients. So for the client to renew, it feels like a miracle because it was on the exact Friday that I needed it to happen. And it was like that's already been in motion, right? And sometimes when I have a bigger goal or bigger vision and it doesn't happen that same day, it's like getting like releasing the need for it to happen. And then when it does happen, it's okay, this is when it was supposed to come through. And it even was even more powerful or more impactful when it did actually happen
Hmm.
so it doesn't always happen the day we expect it. And just to let that be okay. Like I have been working on this, manifesting this beach house for over 10 years. I didn't just wake up one day and be like, oh, let's build a beach house.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff you had to clear up or
Oh, yeah.
work through so
Yes.
that you could connect that you could actually have the beach house.
Correct. So much. And the worthiness piece, like I still have to do clearing around worthiness. Who am I
Hmm.
to have this? It's crazy how we stop ourselves.
Hmm.
I'm a regular person. I go to the grocery store, I vacuum my carpet. I'm just a normal person. I'm not actress or celebrity or something. So
Hmm.
to have something like that, especially when our parents don't have something like that, or sisters and
Hmm.
brothers don't have something like that, to receive something, sometimes I do feel like I'm tiptoeing a little bit, like around worthiness.
And I have found in working with my clients that there is something that is instilled in a lot of us in our belief systems of doing so much better than our parents or
Yes.
our grandparents. We might
Yeah.
feel comfortable when we get there, but when we
Mhm.
start stepping out, we send mixed signals. You feel bad, or should I do
Mhm.
this, or should I be,
Mhm.
instead of getting what I would desire, should I be using this to maybe pay off my parents' house? We have these conflicting subconscious beliefs that
Yes.
come
Oh,
up.
totally. Well, and you're the master with the subconscious work. I work with clients on the reticular activating system and rewiring
Hmm.
that because that's really where that's our ceiling, right? Our money ceilings are, and
Yep.
it is that worthiness piece. How do you bring it up to your parents that you've bought this thing that they would never, they like just barely could get us through school, and then how now you have this amazing
Hmm.
whatever it is, whatever you
Yeah.
happen in your life, right?
Yeah, it could be something smaller in scale. And I agree, right? Like how there's a lot of beliefs there. How do you see, though, when people are, let's move from life to maybe
Mhm.
business, because we have a lot
Yeah.
of entrepreneurs who listen to us. When
Yes.
you're working with entrepreneurs, maybe they're starting out in their business. I love the true nuts and bolts of how you began and where you are now, all the lessons you've learned when somebody is starting out,
Mhm.
because I've had a lot of different spiritual entrepreneurs on explaining their modalities or how their magic shows up. Sometimes I'll go back 2 years later, they're not around. They're still physically here on earth, but yeah,
They're-
but brand is no
yeah.
longer around. Getting through that first year or two, if somebody comes in to do work with you, what are you seeing in those situations where they're coming for a reading? Do you see any
Uh,
common
when Oh,
thing?
there's when they're starting.
Yeah.
Great question. One of the things is trusting your intuition. I've invested $150,000 into growing my business over the past 13 years. I've been in a lot of really high-end programs that I should not have been in because I was not ready, or I was with a mentor who didn't see that I wanted to do the healing work.
Mm-hmm.
So I really have been around the block in hiring mentors. And I was super codependent and would just do what they said. It's good because I needed to move forward. But we disconnect from our intuition when we do that. This messaging doesn't feel good, or this type of marketing doesn't fit my personality, but they told me to do this, so I'm doing it, right? And so I feel like when you're in the beginning, startup is to actually learn what you, this is going to be the exact opposite of what any other mentor says, but to actually learn what you actually sound like, what your soul feels like,
Mm-hmm.
what your personality is. Who are you? I know when I'm being myself and how I sound when I write or talk. This is me fully expressed. If I learn a new strategy, I can either say, okay, this feels like an extension of me, or just,
Mm-hmm.
no, this feels really bad. I'm not doing it. I needed to, that's the most important thing in growing your business, and to not need the money. Like, we need to charge for our services,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't charge because you need the money or you're going to die. If you're in that place, get a job, do this on the side and grow it, or get a loan, move in with your parents, save up and grow it slower, grow it on the weekends. Instead of being desperate for money, every time I've ever really needed money, let me just tell you, like, I would do deals with clients that were not a great fit, or would undercharge and be resentful, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
just straight talk, right? Or I would be so stressed out. Who's gonna hire me when I'm all like I'm not fun? Even if it's not your most exciting job, just get money from somewhere else so you can be present in your business and invest in networking, invest in like growing your skills, getting out there. And then this is a long answer to your question, but then also is sometimes we overinvest in areas where we feel like there's going to be this big ROI
Mm-hmm.
that is not where we should be spending our money or our time. So let me give you a couple examples. And this is why you can connect with your angels and be guided.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the clarity piece comes in, because when you're beginning, it's more important to connect with people locally, like local workshops, even on the internet. Do a small workshop on Facebook or in your town. Or if you have a small email list, do something small with your email list. Get going. But what happens is we overspend on websites and photo shoots. Your energy and your abilities don't match that. They are incongruent,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so you have this big brand and you spent $5,000 on this beautiful website.
Yeah.
And so then you feel the pressure to make money to pay all these things. And it's actually, it would have been better if you actually just had done something with people, right? Local people, or
Mm-hmm.
just a small group, and just had made, okay, I made $500. Let me take that $500 I made from that workshop and put it into the next thing, right?
Mm-hmm. I call it car payment breath.
Yes,
Like, it's definitely
totally.
shifted when
Yes,
I
you're exactly
first
right.
left the first time I left my corporate job was I was turning 50 in 2016.
Oh gosh.
I sold my house in California and I moved to Idaho. And I was going to be a leadership coach.
Oh
Wasn't
yeah.
going to do any of these abilities, right?
Yeah.
None of my intuitiveness at all. I was like, okay, I'm going to go use my lean and do my leadership.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, and I got money in the bank and I invested in a program as well.
Mhm.
And I learned a lot. What I know
Yeah.
now, looking back, is I had no idea. I hadn't built anything.
Yeah.
So that of all the marketing out there, oh, just jump and your net will go.
Mm-mm.
No, you, like Dave Ramsey says, you got to have the boat closer to the dock because else you
Sure.
get car payment breath. No matter
Yes.
your intention,
Yeah.
grounding and connecting, it's too much pressure.
It's too much pressure, especially for this work, energetic
Hmm.
healing work. I don't know, maybe it is if you have a different type of business, you're doing like solar panel installation, but our energy is critical to attracting clients. If you have car payment breath, it pushes people away. They can't see you anymore.
I loved what you're talking about starting. You really have to be authentic and listen to how you're going to show up and step into those quirky things. That's what makes us
Oh,
us. I'm
Debbie.
not going to be Tracy. Tracy isn't going to be Debbie. It's not going to happen. We have different things. I
Yes.
can't stand sandwiches. Maybe because I ate them every day growing up. If I never have another bologna sandwich, I'll be fine.
I love that, but you're exactly right. And that's the funnier, the more you can become, even though clients could go to you and get support, or they could come to me and get support. And maybe our work isn't the exact same, but maybe it's similar. Or and there's other people who do angel work and who knows what, right? It's go first, you have to come out of the closet, right? You've got to just admit I'm a psychic medium or I talk to angels or whatever it is that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and just come out with it. And then you have to be yourself. Some people don't like Thanksgiving food, like turkey. Blows my mind because I could eat it daily. Love Thanksgiving food. If you admit it online, people love you for it. Even if they don't agree, they're like, that's cool. She can say she doesn't like sandwiches, right? Yeah, I totally.
Yeah, feed me. No.
If we ever do something together,
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
Make sure. Yeah, I'll eat something else. Give me salmon or fish.
I'm in Seattle, so we have plenty of.
That fish market, the best fish.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't
when
know where
people,
we were going from there.
yeah, we were talking. That's what I love about my podcast. This was my coming out to get started and own that and who you share it with that you feel safe with. And are there specific angels or that people can work with? If people get really clear, like you shared, right? They get really cleared about the
Yes.
sandwich they're going to order, what kind of bread, no pickles, no
Right.
cheese, pastrami or whatever. And then is there specific angels that they call on? I know I call on specific archangels. So what angels do you recommend, Tracy, for wanting to manifest and maybe make that change, right? They're working on the side, building their stuff.
Yeah.
Like who should they be calling to?
There are many archangels and spirit guides that you can call on. Each angel has a specific job. However, I want to tell you and all the people who are listening that you can call on any angel at all times and they will come and support you. So even if you get it, you can't get it wrong. You can't be like, I called the wrong angel and now I have a new car, but I can't pay my mortgage. That's not gonna happen. It's not, oh shoot, right? They're all going to be able to help you. And for you to also to tune in and deepen your connection with your angels so that you develop that relationship with them so you can call who you feel is the right one for you and then that thing that you're manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
No one knows anything outside of you that you don't already know inside of yourself regarding the angels. You can connect with them and develop that relationship for yourself. However, these are what like I would guide you to do and from my experience, but your experience is right for you. I love Archangel Raphael because he's the healer and I'm a healer. So we have a close bond.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be a healer to call on him. Archangel Raphael is because he is the one who heals your path or heals your heart so that you can manifest the thing. Often the thing is right in front of us and we need to heal something to receive it fully, to take it, to receive it, to have the thing, right? For example, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you're starting your spiritual business or you're growing it. For example, you might need to heal something around visibility and your fear of visibility. And let me just tell you, you might have a witch wound from a past life. You might have trauma in this life. I had a narcissistic ex-husband and I had to heal the trauma from that relationship. Like it just it changes your brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever been in a abusive relationship, your brain is wonky, right? So you have to fix that, right? So that you can see your worthiness and you can step out and be visible online or giving talks or workshops. You've got to heal that. That's why I would call on Archangel Raphael, help me heal my fear of stepping out or being visible. Yeah, it's a constant thing. I started a YouTube channel earlier this year, and I've done a couple of videos. Every time I'm about to do one, I go through this again. It's like you're safe, and you're safe to share your message. It's safe to be visible online, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
that's why if you're manifesting something, there's something you need to heal. So I would call Archangel Raphael.
Mm-hmm.
The angel of abundance is Archangel Ariel. You could call Archangel Ariel and say, I'm manifesting this business with these clients. Guide me, show me the way, tell me, show me where they're hanging out, or speak through me so that what I say resonates with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really beautiful when you can ask for their help. They're always there for you. That way, it's not just our own logical mind analyzing and overthinking.
Yeah. Which none of us do, right?
No, never. I've never done. I could win an award.
So we have Raphael and Ariel.
There's many more. There's
Yeah.
the Archangel Charity
Mhm.
and the twin of Archangel Shamuel. She's an archangel that you can call on to guide you towards abundance. Her name means generosity of the goddess. So when you want to practice receiving, you want to call on this archangel to open up your arms to receive, open up your heart to receive. Yes, Archangel Charity, I'm ready to receive. And sometimes you've done the work and you just need to relax, right?
Mhm.
Just enjoy.
Laugh more, like
Oh my
we are.
goodness. That's a really good point. A lot of the times we manifest faster when we're in play and having a great time.
Yes.
I was on vacation in Maui with my husband. We got back last Monday. I had got 3 new clients. I didn't even market because of the terrible hurricanes and some things that were happening in the world. I just didn't. I wanted to focus on being on vacation. And I just had people reaching out and people were like, oh yeah, I finally want to sign up. I was like, this is unbelievable. I was enjoying myself. When you're playing, sometimes I'll run through the forest, put my hands up and I scream like a little child because I could get so grumpy and so this must work like when I'm at my desk, right? I've left the camera on. I'm like, oh my God, I look so mean. My work face, right?
And you don't have that resting bee face, right?
So play is really important.
I've noticed that when I've stopped playing, when I'm so serious and I feel like I'm chained to my desk,
Yes.
it starts to feel like I just feel like today I was outside and
Yes.
when today I'm glowy and having fun and laughing and man, this just
Yes,
feels so much
exactly.
better. Mm-hmm.
So much better. Doesn't it work so much better?
Mm-hmm.
So that is an old program. It's a very old program that we have to sit at our desk from 9 to 5 and be serious to make money. And I still catch myself into that old program. I have to do that all the time. So you can call on your angels. Okay, angels, please remind me, help me to lighten my load, help me to stay in my feminine, help me to be fun and joyful. And that's when you change your reticular activating system, shift your filter. You don't need to be at your desk for 12 hours a day to make money.
I've had similar experiences when I've gotten really like just sitting there pounding. Of course, that could be a little different if I'm in the middle of working my website or doing
Right, for
something
sure.
that you have to have some extended time. But I have found that it becomes, I just enjoy it more. I want to go play pickleball every morning.
Yes.
Like I want to start my day out with that or not, or
Right.
walk in the rain forest or wherever you're at, right? That would be beautiful. I'm not near a forest right now, but
Yeah, you're in Arizona.
Arizona right now.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I love those tips for people to, call in which angel that they would like to work with. And I love Raphael and Ariel, and I haven't worked with Charity, so I'm going to call on her.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to move us into questions I like to ask all my guests. I'm a huge believer in music. It can shift our moods and lift us during challenging times. Tracy, what is a song that will help shift you?
I live in Seattle And I went to high school here. I lived here in elementary, junior high, and high school. And then now here I'm back. And so I really love the Seattle music. I grew up here in the 90s. So it was alternative music, grunge era. And so I'm a huge fan of Seattle music. It's just really part of who I am. And so I love Pearl Jam a lot. So there's a song from the 10 album, which is their debut album that came out in like 1991. And there's two songs, Oceans and Alive. Not only do those songs have a significant meaning in my life for many reasons, part of it is the songs are really beautiful. When I studied Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam and how they rose to fame, they worked their asses off. Like they were so poor and so broke and doing these songs at clubs getting paid like $100 for the whole night and having to live off that. They just went from club to club. And now look at them. What always reminds me, and it's not about hustling. That's not my message. It's sometimes we can feel like I don't know where it is. I don't know what to do. I don't know if it's ever going to work. And could you imagine them the week before their album came out, they're at this club making like $100. And it's like that feeling of, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. I don't know if I'm ever going to make money. How are we going to pay the rent? They released that album, shot up and kept going. Now look at them. It reminds me to do the same. Start local, start small, keep going, show up. That's the message from not only the beautiful songs, but just anytime I listen to their music, it's because just the one next day they had it, right?
Yes. And there's so many stories of that with different artists. I didn't care for them much when they first came out, but then in the 2000s, the next decade, one of my friends took me, that was his favorite group. And so we ended up going to a concert in Oakland, California. And I saw them and I was mesmerized. And then I started reading more about him. And finding out that he actually is one of the biggest supporters for the Seattle area for homeless teens. They created all this giving back. It's a good example of following your dreams, staying aligned, as well as giving back that gratitude, giving back to your community.
Yes, for sure.
He is a wonderful story.
It's amazing because when he was in San Diego before Pearl Jam, he was working nights as a security guard and writing music during the day. He dropped out of high school and got money from side jobs to pay for his own apartment. Like all the other kids are going to prom and he's living on his own because he had a terrible home life and had to imagine at 16 having to work and to pay an apartment while everyone else is like going to prom and homecoming. Not that there's anything wrong with doing those things. I enjoyed those. He knows what it's like. I think that's why he supports those causes because I know how hard it is.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Everybody should go look him up. Here, it's not for publicity. He's past that point. Yeah. So great. I love that. And I love that song Alive. I'll have to listen to the other one. I probably know it, but
oh yeah, it's
probably
beautiful.
sing along and I don't even realize it's the song. So I'm going to add those to the YouTube playlist for everybody. It's so diverse of genres and music types. I love the question. Now, my second question that I always ask on where you are right now in this season of life. If you could go back and talk to your younger self about your own worth, what would you tell her?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. I would first tell her that she is her own person. Like you are your own person. No matter what pressure you're feeling from a spouse or boyfriend or job or parents, what they think that you should be doing, just do what you think you should be doing. Listen, you are your own person. And to know when it's someone else's toxic energy or if it's your own energy and to cultivate that. I wish someone would have told me that when I was younger. It was just always about striving for more. It's just whatever you needed to do was just to get more, to strive for more. But it was like I had no sense of self and worthiness around my own inherent value as a person.
Mhm.
I was only valuable if I got a promotion or if I made more money or if I was married or if I was beautiful.
You are worthy, Tracy.
Thank you.
In case
You
nobody's
are
told you
worthy
that
too.
today.
Thank you.
And
And it's a really important message of each person's own inherent worth. You're worthy if you feel like you don't have any money or you have lots of money, feel underweight or overweight, or don't look great that day, whatever it
mhm,
is, you're still worthy.
mhm. Yeah, sometimes people put other people, a lot of women, ahead of themselves. And you get to this
Oh,
point in life and you're
yes.
like, I've lost my chance. And I don't believe that. I'm 58.
Oh, yeah,
And,
exactly.
and
100%.
this is just like the next encore.
Yeah, you're just getting started for sure.
Hmm. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that's also societal, right? You only can do anything if you're 22, but then after that,
Yeah.
we're all done.
Nobody wanted that in 22. All I could think about was, what are we doing this weekend? Are we going water skiing or camping or what are we drinking?
Yeah.
What am I going to look like? Oh no, my face broke out.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty superficial, which I think that's part of the 20s, much more superficial than
Yes.
obviously now
Yeah.
and showing up. I love your reflection back on yourself, Tracy.
Thank
It's
you.
very beautiful, and I appreciate the vulnerability with sharing that with me and the audience. And
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for holding space for me to share.
I would love to know how people can reach out, Tracy, and what are you offering these days for your
Sure.
clients?
Thanks for asking. So, the first thing I'd recommend is to go and get my free meditation. It's Meet Your Angels meditation. It's on my website. You can download it and instant access. And you just go to manifestwithangels.com forward slash.
Yes. Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes.
Oh, perfect. And so it's manifestwithangels.com forward slash free gift.
Mhm.
So you can download that meditation and meet your angels. And even if you have already met all your angels and you talk to them all the time, it's a nice meditation to rekindle that relationship with them. I have different things I work with my clients on, but it's always through my Manifest with Angels method, right? So
Mhm.
even if it's the membership or the certification or the private coaching support, it's always taking them through that method. So really that's the most important is what is the thing that you're wanting to call into your life? What are you wanting to create? And
Mhm.
then what's the path and what needs to be cleared out so that you can realize that.
I can't wait to see who reaches out
Thank you. Me
and,
too. Yeah.
taps into
Looking forward
your
to talking to
beautiful
you.
energy. I appreciate you sharing your wisdom with me and the listeners of Light Up Your Word. Thank you so much,
Aw,
Tracy.
thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure. I always love spending time with you and your energy. So it's just been
Thank you.
lovely. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks.